Hey guys, welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we are doing a Wip Chat. If you guys don't know what WIP stands for, it stands for Work in Progress, and then you hear me ramble along about what's going on throughout my week. So, if you guys want, you can pull out your own whips or whatever it is that you guys want to do. Sit, relax, do chores. You can, listen to me talk about what's going on this week. So, let's get started. Alright, I'm still on Aquarius, but as you guys can see, I'm on the last 6 sections. Yay! It's been a week. it's been a long week. So I hope you guys are doing okay today. But oh my gosh, I can't wait for this week to be over and just, refresh, start over all over again. Let's have a nice week next week, right? How many more times can I just say week? So, goodness, it's really hard to know where to begin. I've tried to do this Wip Chat a few times, and I feel like each time it's just, I don't know, I give out too many personal details, or I keep getting interrupted, or I can't seem to get a whole grip on it. But if you hear any noises in the background, that's my husband. He's doing his work. He's like busy click-clacking away. So I guess I could start off with why it's been a week, and then I can backtrack on what's been going on this entire time. So my husband was in the hospital for less than 24 hours, but it was still a pretty kind of scary thing for me. Like, I was like on my I was like just nerve-wracked the whole time. But Sunday night he was complaining of some chest pain during the evening, and saying that it was kind of hard to take deep breaths, and later on it evolved to where he was having trouble really breathing, and it was starting to hurt a lot. And we had to call 911 to get him taken to the hospital because he thought he was having a heart attack. Thankfully, all signs have come to absolutely no signs of a heart attack. But it wasn't fun. I was on edge for a good portion of the day, and then like the whole thing was just, I don't want to deal with it all over again. My husband seems to have a thing of having to call 911 almost yearly, it feels like. And I told him that it's my turn to be able to call 911 for me, and I have no plans of calling 911. So that means no more scares for anyone. But somehow he doesn't listen. I'm trying to find humor in the situation, but it was still not a good experience. But they said that it's not a heart attack, but they released him the next day with mild pain still. But basically went, we don't know what it is. Bye! So he was supposed to get a stress test yesterday to figure out what was going on. And that didn't happen because they didn't tell him it was going to cost $800 with insurance. So he was like, no, I can't. I already just got out of the hospital, and I have to spend a bunch of money with all the other bills that's going to come in. $800 for a stress test? No, thank you. He's already has AFib, so he's already been diagnosed with that from last year's scare. So it's a thing that we're just like, we don't want it to knock into AFib again, especially, $800. We don't really have room to drop. So he says, no, I don't really think it's cardio related-ish. He wanted to ask the doctor questions, but they wouldn't let him, so he had to go home. So hopefully we can schedule an appointment with his general practitioner, and then he can talk to her and figure out all this stuff, because we don't want to let this linger, If you guys haven't, I got myself some iced coffee. So if you guys want, go ahead and get something to drink. But yeah, that's why that videos was kind of late being posted this week. I wasn't really in the right headspace, and I guess that's why it's been taking so long for me to even do a whip and chat. It's just that I'm like, it's like he's fine. It's just I'm more what the heck, what's going on? But I'm just, I don't know. I had to like get right back into it, and it was just like I was focused on doing all of this, and I just was like, okay, I just want to make sure he's fine, and then I can like actually start posting some stuff. But so yeah, I apologize for the late video for my unboxing, and that I wasn't as enthusiastic about it, even though it was, a really nice Mother's Day gift. It's just that, he bought me this gift, and then, hospital, and then, but I will talk more about this. But we're going to go backtrack a little bit because I did leave you off on last week. I was mentioning about field day for my kids and how I was worried about the fact that they were going to be going outside when was 60 degrees in the morning, the twins at least, Michael and Jana. I was worried that they were going out and it's going to be cold and rainy, and they were not going to cancel it because they decided that they wanted to. They said that that there was like thunderstorms on Monday, and if they cancel and then storms happen on Monday and they have to cancel again, that there was no way of rescheduling it this year. I'm like, well, it was afternoon thunderstorms for Monday compared to sporadic showers all day on Friday. But, whatever. Plus, excuse me, Monday was supposed to be like 80 something degrees, a lot warmer than the 60 degrees in the morning. But it was funny because we got the kids, all of them, a change of clothes, towels, and put them in light clothing because they were going to get wet, they were going to get soaked. And as we're dropping them off, it was pouring rain, and I'm like, are they going to cancel it? No, they didn't cancel it. I was told by my next door neighbor, she's a substitute teacher, that they sent the kids outside and they were shivering and freezing. So they had water games for the younger kids during the morning, and then in the afternoon the older kids got to go outside and do the water games. So they kind of flip-flop. But yeah, she was telling me that, oh my goodness, it was just like, she goes, her kids were freezing and everyone else's, they were freezing. They had a water hose, so they had the fire department come by and sprayed water on everyone, and then there was like snow cones. And I mean, like, overall, when my kids came home, they had a blast, but I was worried because my neighbor was talking to me on Saturday about how her kids already has a cold, and she was got sick from the whole thing. So I was like, okay, I gotta keep an eye on my kids, oh boy. But luckily, everyone seems fine. Excuse me. So it seems like everyone was fine. They were exhausted. You could tell that they were so exhausted. We came to pick them up, and Michael and Jana's feet were just dragging across the pavement, and I could hear the teacher going, "Come on, let's hurry up! Let's pick up the pace." And they're just like, uh-huh. They get in the car. They were so excited to tell us about their day, but they were so tired. It was so cute. And Nicole comes bounding in. She's still full of energy. She's like, "Hey, let me tell you about what's going on." And then, let's see, what was it? She goes, "I'm not going to go to my friend's today," because she always wants to go to her friend's house. "My legs are too tired." And I'm like, okay, good deal. I think that's a good idea. So she stayed home that day for once. Not knowing that she was probably going to be staying home on Monday, but that, like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit. But So we sent all of the kids to get take showers because they weren't going to go outside that day. So I'm like, all right, you guys had like you're cold, you're soaked, you got sun on your face, you probably got some bugs or whatnot. Let me dump all of your clothes into the laundry, and you guys just take showers and relax. And we got pizza for them. So I just did laundry for them, and that was it. And we had huge plans for the weekend. We were like we were going to be all about cleaning up the garage because his parents are being really awesome and nice. They're gifting us one of their cars. They're buying themselves a brand new car. Well, they bought themselves a new car, I should say, and they're going to gift us one of their old ones. To do what we want, if we wanted to trade it in, like both of our car, our car and then one of theirs to get a nicer car because we've put some mileage on that on the minivan, so it's starting not to be nice, but at the same time, it's nice to have a second vehicle. But we don't have it yet. But we were supposed to clean out the garage on the weekend. And it was probably a good thing we didn't. It's a good thing that we had a lazy weekend because of all the excitement and stress, that not the good kind. I'm glad that I had something to relax to. So the reason why I've done a lot of this was because of the weekend. My husband and I were just like, we don't feel like doing anything. And I'm like, yeah, I want to just diamond paint. I'm so close to being done. And I'm going to take a sip of coffee. So I was like, I'm close to being done. I don't wanna do anything. He goes, yeah, me either. I wanna play WoW. He started playing WoW again, and he wanted to unlock the Dark Iron Dwarves, and he was like working his butt off to unlock that character race because he saw the glowy hair that they had, and he was like, I want to play that. So he's been like trying his best to unlock it. He's been like unlocking everything but that, like the Colterians from there. I think he unlocked the Void Elves that I play. And then like I don't know. It's just like he was like, I'm unlocking everything but what I want. It's kind of funny. He doesn't think it was so funny, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, he was doing that for all of the weekend. I had a bit of a lazy weekend too. I did have the kids learn how to fold laundry. So, I mean, Nicole already knows how to do her own laundry. So I usually just put all of her clothes in a pile and just fling it into her room and then have her fold it, and we're good to go. With the twins, I fold their clothes and then I have them come into my room and then go get their clothes and put them in where they're supposed to be in the drawer. This time I'm like, no. They're older. They're going to have more responsibilities. So this was a responsibility weekend for them. We were doing all sorts of changes over the weekend, and it kind of I should know better than to drop a bunch of changes because my son is sensitive to any sort of change. He doesn't like rapid change, and he melts down pretty quickly, and that's what happened throughout this the last few days with everything. And I thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But when you're in the midst of like, I want to get things done, I got to get this finished. You don't think about it until after the fact, and unfortunately, that's what happened for me. But they did really well overall. So what I did was, I actually did more work doing this for them than just folding it myself, which was funny. But I separated all the clothes into, let's see, is that on the wrong color? Let me check. I separated them into like piles, and then what I did, I went a step further, and I put all their clothes, so I put the shirts laying flat, I put their pants laying flat, pajamas laying flat, and then I called them over, one by one. Like I said, Nicole already knew her stuff, so I threw hers into the into her bedroom. The only thing I normally fold nowadays is socks and underwear because They seem to have a problem with just balling everything up and flinging it into the abyss. So I still handle those things. Besides, with like, especially with the socks, they never tell me if there's a matching pair or not. At least Nicole will never tell me if any of her pairs match. She just drops all the socks into the drawer and then that's it. I'm like, no. I need to know if there's matching pairs or not, because I don't want to get all out of the blue going, none of my socks match. I have nothing to wear. Excuse me. But yeah, I called them one by one, and they learned how to fold their clothes. They did a really good job considering, and then they put their clothes up. And then I did it again for a second load. They were like, wait, we have to do this again? And I'm like, mm-hmm. And they're like, no. Because the next day I was like, here we go. More clothes for you. And they were like, no, this I don't like this deal at all. And then another one of the changes that I've done is I've been slowly teaching them how to turn on the shower by themselves and then turn off the shower by themselves. But what I've normally been doing is stay upstairs to keep an ear out for them. So, because usually it's like, my shower's too hot, my shower's too cold, my towel fell down, that kind of stuff. But, I said, okay, you guys are now 7 years old. Nicole started doing this when you were babies, I think it's time for you guys to not have me basically hold your hands anymore, and you just take a shower without my help, and the first couple days when I did that, Michael kind of did melt down, like there was always something wrong. So one of the things is his shower stall now scares him, the shower curtain that we have, and it's kind of funny in a way because he picked out the shower curtain a year ago. It was like, it's the United States shower curtain, and it's like has all the cities and things on it to say about what kind of, where everything's located. And he's obsessed with country, so he picked that out, and we're like, okay. And now he's scared of one of the states there and doesn't want to look at it or take a shower. So we had to take the decorative shower curtain down, so all they have is the lining for now. So we have to buy a new curtain sometime. But that was one of the meltdowns. Another meltdown was like he couldn't pull the God, what was it? Not the plunger, but like when you turn on the shower, you have to hit that little thing on the faucet to kick on the actual shower head. Yeah, he couldn't do that correctly, even though he's been doing that very well. All of a sudden, it's like he's not able to do it, and it just caused a complete meltdown on the poor kid. But we're there now. We've gotten better. He just now complains about if he has to take his shower second, that his sisters take way too long. And I'm like, you take just as long, dude. It's not just your sisters. He doesn't believe it. None of my kids believe that they take a long shower. And I'm like, each and every one of you do. But they're doing well. They're all getting through it. I have to do laundry again. Excuse me. I mean, I've done laundry. I have to separate the laundry again in words. So yeah, anyway, I have to separate the laundry again, but I don't think I can do that today because my oldest, she's on a field trip today. And she's going to be exhausted. She's coming home late, so I don't think she's going to do any of her clothes. No, and I wouldn't force her to do that because, she had a fun-filled day. Why would I be like, all right, welcome home. I know it's late, but you got to go and do your laundry. All right, coffee break. But yeah, we had a lazy day weekend, and then we go wrapping it up into Sunday. Hold on for just a minute. All right, sorry, I had a package. So Sunday. All right. See, I'm having interruptions still. So Sunday, it started out the same way, lazy day, but like I said, with all the new changes that the kids were going through, we woke up with the kids screaming at each other. And, you know, not like the kind of scream where when you wake up and you're like thinking someone's in trouble. It's more like the, oh God, why are they starting this early kind of thing. And it was Michael yelling at Jaina over a beanbag chair. Nicole gave Jaina a beanbag chair for her room because she outgrew it. Didn't let us know that she did the thing because normally we would be like, well, let's hold off on doing that because, you know, the kids get jealous with stuff like that, and we want to make sure that everyone has a fair trade of things. And that didn't happen, so of course, you know, Michael's upset because, you know, he didn't get anything, and, you know, Jaina's upset because Michael's in her room, and we've all told everyone to respect each other's boundaries and not go into each other's rooms willy-nilly. Somehow they still, they somewhat respect that with each other, but not with our room. Our room seems to be still, like, just something that they go, oh, rules? What rules? We'll just walk in here whenever. So, yeah, I had to wake up to that. And then my husband, he was sleeping downstairs because his back was hurting at the time. He was sleeping downstairs and had to wake up to me and Michael screaming, so he wasn't happy. Because I was like getting on to Michael about the way he was acting. I'm like, no, we don't slam doors. We don't, no, For some reason, the theme this week is also slam doors. I'm about to take all the doors down. I'm at that point. I'm about to take all the doors down here. No one's going to have a door. The bathroom won't have a door at this point. Even the front door won't be around. I'm so done with slam doors. But I was getting on them. I'm like, no, we can't do this. I told all of them that they need to settle down. This is not the way I want to wake up. This is not how I want summer to start, because summer's about to start. Next week's the last week of school, and I really don't cherish if they're going to do this kind of thing all throughout. I don't want to. I don't want to wake up like that. But yeah, it was just like that, and it was just like they were all on each other, and it was a bad day overall with that, with how everyone was just acting. I mean, like, you know, there's normal sibling squabbles, and then you have this, and I was just like, oh God, what did they wake up on? Like, what side of the bed? Stop it, please. My husband and I hid. Yes, that's right. We hid in here. I wanted to focus on that. I was like, there was a couple of times where I'm like, okay, you guys are doing great. You're getting along. And it's because they went, well, can we play Minecraft together? We want to, do a thing. I'm like, awesome. We're getting along. Great. And then 5 minutes into it, would you stop that? Stop taking my stuff. Oh my God, Amaya, please stop. And it was like, okay, normal normal sibling squabble, okay, and then just, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a timeout. Everyone timeout. So we separated them, and that escalated things with Michael. Unfortunately, he got really upset. So yeah, like I said, him and change, not a good thing. At least if it's a bad kind of change, it used to be all change would set him off. You had to gradually get him used to things, but now, like, when it's a good kind of change, it can set him off from time to time, but most of the time it's fine. It's just like when it's new changes to his routine and things like that. So he's very much a kid who loves to go to bed at a time that he's supposed to, and if he doesn't, sometimes he falls asleep. He will argue with us from time to time because it's light out that he's not sleepy, but then like 5 minutes later, I'm tired. I'm like, yeah, you are, dude. His sister, on the other hand, she, especially like yesterday, for example, she goes, but it's light out and I'm not sleepy. I'm not ready for bed. I want to stay up. I'm going, it's already 15 minutes past your bedtime. Get to bed. She will find ways. find ways to stay up. Oh, I need to give you a hug. Oh, I need you to give you an extra super duper hug. Oh, I need some water. Oh, my bear needs fluffing. She'll find. Don't you snicker? You know it's true, honey. So it's just that kind of stuff. She will find ways. She's sneaky too. Like she'll just start walking downstairs and just go, "Hi." I'm like, "What are you doing? Go to bed." She goes, "Oh, I just want to say goodnight." I'm like, "You said goodnight 30 minutes ago." Good night. Go to bed. So yeah, so it's just like that kind of stuff for the most part, but we calmed them down, and we got my goodness, words are really hard. So we calmed everyone down. I had a talk with all of them, like let's have a reset. I really want a reset for the week though, but I'm like, let's have a reset. Let's stop getting on each other's nerves. And the worst part was, we were trying to give them some fun time earlier that day. We wanted to take them to the park, but they dragged their feet so much it started pouring when my husband got to the park. He was giving me a break and let me stay home, and while he took them to the park, so I can finish diamond painting, because I was like, I'm so close, and he goes, okay, I'll take them, and I'm like, thank you. One of these days, I gotta make sure he gets compensated for that, because he's really nice about doing all this kind of stuff. But yeah, they drug their feet, so he had to drive back in the rain with them bickering, and then of course the Minecraft things happen later on. So, once we once we finished time out with them, my husband's like, all right, Michael, you want to help me make hamburgers? And Michael's like, yeah! And my husband gave him the job of putting mustard on the hamburgers to flavor the meat. And I do not like mustard. I can handle little tiny doses of mustard, especially if it's spread thin. My son, on the other hand, he is obsessed with mustard. Loves it. Loves it. Loves it. Loves it. Like, to the point where I'm kind of worried if he's just going to start guzzling the bottle itself. So my husband buys like this spicy brown mustard, and he loves it. He wants it with pickles. He wants it with everything. Like, so my husband gave him the job of squirting the mustard onto the hamburger, and he goes, make a happy face on it. Just do that. You know what my son does? He just squirts globs. He made a happy face, but it's just a huge globfuls of, it's just like everywhere. And then my husband had to kind of wipe as much as he could off, and then like he kind of swishes the meat together to kind of have it in the center or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, when I went to eat my hamburger later on, just a glob of mustard oozed out, and I'm like, ugh. And Michael's like, this is good. I made this, Mommy. I'm like, that's great. Tastes delicious. And I'm like, I can't eat this. This is too spicy, and I don't like mustard. And I'm just like I'm like, where's my water? Where's my coffee? I need something. But after that, it was just like, all right, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna get ready for bed. And of course, the kids do their nightly, oh, we want to stay up. And it's like, nope, time for bed. And then that's where my husband started having his issues. It didn't happen until after Nicole went upstairs. But with the twins, I was like, okay, let's get ready. Let's brush our teeth. This is the point where, so this is like, Sunday was just a very busy night for me. So with Sunday, so that night I told her, brush your teeth, sweetie, and she has a wiggly tooth. So yeah, she has another wiggly tooth. So instead of brushing her teeth like I asked her, she spent 5 minutes staring in the mirror. And if you guys don't like to hear about anything like teeth talk or anything, excuse me, that's related to blood, maybe I'll be done in about 2 minutes. So, So she was messing with her tooth in the mirror, and the way her adult tooth, we didn't know it until after her tooth came out, but her adult tooth was pushing on her baby tooth on a way that it was like, because her baby tooth was completely straight when it was out, but when it started getting wiggly and loose, it started tilting. It went in a crooked way. So she was able to fiddle with that thing for a while, and that night she decided, you know what? I'm going to start twisting my tooth. So instead of brushing her teeth, she does that, and I'm expecting her to be done soon. Instead, I get, Mommy, it tastes blood! I'm like, oh boy. So she's running in, and she is, she twisted it enough where, she bled for a little bit. And she's talking to me when I'm trying to clean her up with the tissue paper, and she's like talking through with a mouthful of toilet paper, and I'm like, and I'm cleaning her up, and I'm feeling the tooth as I'm cleaning her. I'm like, this tooth's gotta go because it is that loose. I'm afraid that she's gonna swallow it in the middle of the night or something, and I'm just like barely a tug. I'll go, doot, and it comes completely out, no resistance. And she looks at me, she looks at the tooth, she looks at me, and starts gasping and grinning, and just has this biggest smile on her face, and just was like, it's out, my tooth's out, the tooth fairy's gonna come. Oh my goodness, she was excited. So yeah, it was a busy night that night. So we had to get that prepped. I actually, one of the one of the baggies that I have for my diamond painting drills, I grabbed and put the tooth in there so she could put it into her tooth fairy pillow. So that way there wasn't like any blood or anything like that gets on the pillow itself. But so yeah, she was excited about that. I sent the twins up to bed, and then we all, my husband and I, took turns watching shows with Nicole. I, of course, watched an episode of Sailor Moon with her, and then my husband decided he was going to watch Adventure Time with her. And then we switched, not switch off. Then we told Nicole, time to go to bed. And, I'm getting her ready, saying goodnight. And as she's going upstairs, he turns and looks at me, like, and you can kind of see he was like a little sweaty and stuff. And then she's like, he goes, I have to call 911. And I'm just like, okay. And I had I kind of froze for a minute. He said I did really well. I didn't, guys. I was frozen. I'm like, what am I going to do? What do I do? Clothes. He's going to need clothes. I don't know why. My brain went, he's going to need clothes. He's going to need his wallet. And I was just like all over the place. And he's calling for help. I'm like, I'm going upstairs. I'm like, hi, Nicole, go to bed. She's like brushing her teeth. She's like, okay. I'm like, love you. I know she's noticing something's a little off because I'm like coming upstairs for once, and instead of staying downstairs and doing this and rushing around. And I come back downstairs. I have like a change of underwear for him. I have socks. I found out I only gave him one pair of socks. Like not one pair, but like one sock instead of a pair of socks. I grabbed his shoes. I grabbed his wallet. I was like, okay. And then I was just like thinking, what do I do now? Because he's like already called. He's off the phone, and I'm like, I'll just rub his back. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm like, it'll be okay. I love you. And I'm just like, okay. What am I going to do? I'm like trying not to break down. And like I said, I kind of laugh at it now, but at the same time, it's more of a nervous laughter right now. But, I was really worried about him. Cause he scares me so much. We had like gallbladder attacks a few years ago, and then it got to the point where he needed surgery for it. And then, like I said, last year he had heart issues. He started like feeling his heart flutter, and he didn't know what was going on, and we had to call for help. And found out that he had AFib, and then I don't remember when this one happened, but his back gave out. This all happens. It always happens around summer or close to summertime. Like there's been a time where it happened a few days before school, but yeah, his back completely gave out. Like he pulled a muscle and he was in so much pain he could not even get up. It was a scary experience then too. So I'm like, I'm so done with you getting hurt, getting sick. No more, no more. You're not allowed. I hit the camera. I'm sorry. Let me try and adjust it a little bit since I nudged it out of the way. But let's see. But yeah, we had to deal with that. He went to the hospital. They said there was no signs. They asked if he had any stress at home, if me and the hubby had been fighting, and he goes, "Nope, just a battle of wits." And then I'm like, at least he's still cracking jokes, but my goodness, now's not the time to crack jokes. And I'm trying not to break down. Did not succeed. When they wheeled him on the ambulance, I started crying. But before that, of course, Nicole sees the flashy lights from her window, because her window's like facing the street. And she comes downstairs going, "What's going on? Is Daddy okay?" And I'm like trying to make sure she doesn't see him, because she's I don't know if she's I'm worried that she's getting traumatized seeing her daddy get hooked up a lot, because she's always the one that stays up late with us. So the last few times, whenever we had to call for help, she sees him get looked at and wheeled away like that. I think only Michael and Jaina only experienced that once so far, and that was like the back incident. So she started freaking out. I'm like, "Go upstairs. I'll tell you when they take him to the hospital what's going on. Please just go back upstairs." But she was already, you can't blame the poor kid. She's like wondering what the heck's going on, and here, Daddy, was just watching a show with her, and now Daddy's going to the hospital. What's going on? But when he was wheeled away and when the ambulance pulled out, I went upstairs. I talked to her. She had, she started breaking down. I was like, I had to hold her, and I was like, "It's okay. Daddy's gonna be fine." All that, and I was just like, I'm like, "You gotta believe what you're saying, Jessica. You gotta believe what you're saying." So, gave her a hug and kiss and tried to calm her down enough so she can go to sleep. And then I had to go and check on the Tooth Fairy bag to see if the Tooth Fairy visit. And I went downstairs, called his parents, and I was like, don't cry on the phone. And I did not succeed again. I think at that point, I was like, I could not hold it in any longer. I was just like, I was making no sense after a certain point. I felt bad. Because it was just like, I started rambling. And I really felt bad for his mom, like, having to listen to me just ramble about nonsense stuff. Like, after I was telling her what was going on. Like, basically I said I needed her help. She asked what she needed to do. I still don't have my license. I'm trying my best to get my license. But I said I needed her to come over so she could help take the kids to school in the morning and then possibly pick them up if we didn't know what was going on. And she goes, "Okay, I'll be there in the morning." I told her that, we leave the house at 7 o'clock. About 7 o'clock. Either, depending on how fast we can get the kids, we're usually out by 7:05 to 7:10. But, sometimes with Jaina, kind of, changes from time to time depending on how much she's dragging. But yeah, I stayed up almost a good portion of that night, just texting Chris, and asking him if he was okay, and just said, got answers, like, I'm still in the ER, they're doing blood work, they're doing an x-ray, I'm still haven't seen anyone, that kind of stuff. And it went throughout the entire day, the next day. So when I woke up, had to tell the kids the bad news, because Michael and Jane, of course, didn't know what was going on. And, oh man, it was kind of a second of, Daddy's in the hospital? And then when I went on to go, and Nana's coming over to help take you guys to school, it went, Daddy's in the hospital? Nana's coming? I'm like, Well, at least I can distract you. At least I can still go, here, shiny key. I know that can't happen very long, but with Nicole, that was not enough of a distraction. She was still worried, and I can't blame her. But with the younger other two, they were just like, they were a little concerned, but they were also, Nana. So to them, that means everything's fine. Nana's coming over. So yeah, she showed up, and oh, come on, Drill. She showed up and, immediately, Nana! Like literally, it was like 10 minutes after I told them that Nana comes over. But I am thankful that she helped out so much. And she also stayed the entire day, which, again, I am really grateful for. I was able to, be silly and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But it helped take my mind off things because I was just like a big bundle of nerves, and I was really nervous about what was going on and what was happening, and having someone there, I wasn't going to spiral. So I'm really happy that I had someone at least to talk to and keep me company during the whole time. But yeah, she spent the whole time here. She and I diamond painted in the dining room, and then she had to do her own video after we picked up the kids, so she had to hush the kids a little bit. And I was still like talking to my husband. He still was like, hadn't seen anyone. Like they were like, we're doing a heart ultrasound. But the weird thing was, no one really asked him any questions while he was there, like about his diet, his stress life, nothing. Like they just, and it's just like, it was like really just weird, I guess. But it was just like, okay, well, we can't see what's wrong with you, so bye. But they finally had a cardiologist come by at 4:00 in the evening, and just went, yep, we're going to need to give you a stress test. Didn't tell him how much it might be, just scheduled it, and that was pretty much it. Yeah. My husband's like, they gave me a stress test, all right, when they told me the price of the whole thing. I'm like, yeah. And it was like, I know it's more than just him going to be running on a treadmill because they were doing the physical one, because they got to do like the EKG and all the wires and take his blood pressure and, all that stuff. But $800 up front? Really? I think they said that he could have payments, but there was no way we could afford that. Jeez. So but yeah, so like that's just what's been going on for the entire time with the hospital stuff. But when he came home like at 7:00. The kids all went to him and they're like, Daddy, we missed you, and they just like, yay, hugs, love you, And then of course, I had to send the younger two to bed, and they did not like that. They were just like, we want to stay up. We miss Daddy. I'm like, I know you miss Daddy, but school's tomorrow. So, and I spent like a good portion of the whole night, like, I spent like a good portion like of that night before we went to bed just staring at him, like, are you okay? Are you alright? I'm pretty sure he was so aggravated with me. Like, I'm just like, are you okay? Anything, any sort of sound he made, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. You could tell Nicole was really glad he was home too, because the moment it was like their nightly ritual of watching, a show together, she curled up against him immediately. She just thunk right by his side. So they got to watch Adventure Time together. So and my stomach is now growling. I should have probably ate something beforehand, but it's early morning. I'll eat something later. But yeah, so I think like the next day, man, it was just like, but this week was kind of fun, not fun, was kind of, it went by fast, except for Monday. Sunday and Monday night was slow, but the rest of the week was fast. So A little bit of wild talk, and then I'll keep going. So I've been doing. We're not raiding anymore. We decided no more raid until the jailer gets a big nerf, because even though we killed it once pre-nerf, we can't seem to kill it again with the numbers that we have, with the new people that missed out the week before. So we're going to wait till they nerf him, and then we'll kill him again. So there's no more raids for a while. But instead of that, what we're going to be doing is Mythic Plus. My Mythic Plus team and I are working on Tuesdays and Thursdays now to do mythics and time keys. They've been going a bit ahead of me. Sorry, but I've been, well, like I said, I took Monday off. Monday off last this week, because of what happened with my husband. There was no way I was going to just play while I'm in that mindset. There was no way. Because it was like, yeah, he's home, but I want to make sure he's perfectly okay. I want to make sure, nothing's wrong. So I did not play. And they were like, that's fine. And then I've been sitting out. Like, I would do only one run, and then I would sit out because some people haven't had a chance to do a mythic that week, and they used to do it with a certain group, and now that group doesn't let them in anymore. So I felt bad. So I was just like, okay, you guys can, go, or like, I feel exhausted. But this Tuesday, so we switched from the Mondays to the Tuesdays and Thursdays. I burnt my hand. Now, luckily, nothing you can see wrong, but that day, I made, goodness, I don't even remember what I made. I made, goodness, I made something, and then the side was like mac and cheese, and I drained the noodles, but I didn't like clean the sink like I normally do, so I drained the noodles. So I was just holding the strainer and just poured the pot into there, and then I put everything back in its pot and put the strainer to the side, and then I went to go and wash the dishes while everything was cooking, and that was still heating up. Like, I had the mac and cheese like all nice and melted, and I forgot about the fact that I just poured boiling water into the sink, and there was a couple of bowls. So I went like this way. So like, I put two of my fingers in knuckle deep to grab a bowl into this bowl of boiling water. That wasn't pleasant. That wasn't pleasant at all. Luckily, I did not actually burn myself, but the pads of my fingertips are still sensitive and they hurt. So like, I played one game of Mythic Plus. I did one dungeon of the Mythic Plus. I just said, I can't keep doing this. My fingertips hurt too much. And they did. They hurt a lot. Like, because I kept just tapping with these two fingers, and I couldn't change my rotation or anything like that. So it was just like, ow, ow. So I was just like, I'm stepping out. Someone else needs to play anyway. So I just let them have their turn, and then last night we had our second night of mythics, and I stayed longer. I did 3, and everyone started dropping out, and then they were like, well, we want to do one more. Like, two of my two of the people wanted to do one more, and I'm like, I don't really feel like doing it. So they pulled other people around to go find some help. I was just like, I don't want to, because it was already 11:30. I was exhausted. I started crashing hard the last 2 days, from all these stress, and especially on the weekend when I was doing this before the whole thing, I was staying up really late to try and get through this. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that this weekend. I might. I don't know, but I probably shouldn't, to be honest. But one more thing. So one of the things, before I let you guys go, is, so my husband, right? Monday, he's been in like came home Monday at 7 o'clock in the evening. The next day. So this week is spring cleanup. Like I said, I wanted to clean the garage. So this week is spring cleanup. So the town will pick up all the miscellaneous stuff that you need to throw out, like lawnmowers, washers, dryers, etc. No electronics is what they said, but he called that day on Tuesday and said, will you guys, take lawnmowers? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, do I need to schedule a time? And they said, we'll be coming through every single day. That is a lie. That is a big lie. But, he's like, cool. All right. Thank you. And then he starts getting his shoes on. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to go clean the garage. I'm like, it's literally 12 hours that you just came home from the hospital and you're going to go clean the garage and you're still in pain? I swear. I know I had gray hair since I was 18, but I swear he's trying to turn them white. I want to dye my hair and have it look pure white at one point, but I don't want it turn it that way by stress. But yeah, I'm just no. But I went outside with him and I helped him carry stuff because he's stubborn. The moment he has a dot in his head, he's not going to stop until he's done. And I was like, no, I got to make sure he's okay. I got to make sure he's fine. So I helped him out, and I was like, after we cleared out a bit of the crap, I'm like, no, go sit down. Let's go. I'm hot. I'm hot. Let's go inside. Let's go take a break. And luckily he agreed. So, and then I'm like, are you okay? How's your chest? I'm just, I think he's going to be so sick and tired of me asking that this whole week. But yeah, it was just like, we cleared out that stuff. So we have a king size mattress that's still outside. It's Friday. I'm hoping I can post this today. But we've put the stuff out on Tuesday. They said that they'll be out every day this week. We have not seen them. We haven't seen them at all. The trash guys came by for our trash on Thursday, so yesterday, and then recycling guys just came by today, but we haven't seen anyone coming by to, pick up the stuff. And it's not just our house. It's this entire neighborhood. So I don't know why they're avoiding our neighborhood, but they are, so. But today's going to be a busy day for me as well. Like, my oldest, she's going on a field trip, and I'll let you guys know all about it next Whip Chat. My twins, they got a little party thing today that my husband and I will be going to. So like I said, hopefully I can get this posted before I go, because it starts at 10 and I don't know. Well, maybe I might not be able to have this posted until I come back. So we'll see. Maybe I can get this edit and upload it by then. So that way it can just, do its thing and while I go to the school. I'm trying to think of anything else that I have to do. Next week is the last week of school. So the kids are they are excited. We have award ceremonies coming up on 2 different days, because I have, 2 kids in 2 different age groups. So they I think with the twins, they're at the same time. So, and it's luckily at the whole gym thing. And then Nicole's is the next day, and then the day after that, it's a half day, and that's the last day of school. So, very excited. So, I had surprised that I have finished this section while I was talking to you guys. But let's see. What else is going to happen? So I will have videos out next week, but the week after, I will probably not have a Whip Chat up. I'm going to try and post some videos ahead of time, like for unboxings and things like that, to post throughout the week, but I will not be available, and I'll let you guys know why, maybe next Whip Chat or maybe later. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!